Emery's patience snapped. He and Ethan stood outside the tent. He didn't want to inconvenience others with their raised voices. He lowered his voice, but the anger in it was unmistakable. "Ethan, leave this place and stop embarrassing me," he cried. Ethan clutched the bouquet tighter, his face full of desperate hope. "Emory, please. Just hear me out. I know I messed up, God, I know I did. What I did with Hale was a mistake. The worst mistake of my life." His voice cracked. "I've been regretting it every single day." Emory let out a sharp, humorless laugh. "Regretting it?" He shook his head. "How dare you show up here with flowers and apologies and think that fixes anything? You slept with my brother. You didn't care about how that affected me." "I'm not trying to fix everything in one day," Ethan said quickly. "I just want forgiveness. I want you." Emery's eyes hardened. "Well, you can stop wanting. I don't care anymore, Ethan. Truly. Whatever happened between us is over. I've moved on." Ethan stared at him, disbelief written all over his face. "You don't care," he repeated softly. "How can you say that when you loved me that much?" Emory didn't answer. Ethan took a step closer, his voice trembling now. "You loved me so deeply that when I broke your heart, you became a monk, Emery. You shut yourself away because of me and now you're telling me you don't feel anything." Something flickered across Emery's face, pain, memory, maybe a ghost of who he used to be, but it vanished just as quickly. "That was the old me," Emery said quietly. "The man who ran away because he didn't know how to survive heartbreak. I'm not him anymore." He met Ethan's eyes, calm but unyielding. "You have no right to come back into my life just because you're lonely or guilty. What we had is dead. Please, leave me alone." Ethan suddenly reached out and grabbed Emery by the waist. Emery gasped, completely stunned. "Ethan, what are you doing? Let go of me." Ethan's grip tightened just slightly as he leaned closer, his voice low and insistent. "I know you, Emery. I know your heart. There's no way you've forgotten me. Not after everything." He didn't get another word out. A fist slammed into his face, knocking him back with a cry of shock. Emery froze. "Julian." Julian stood there, chest heaving, eyes blazing with a fury Emery had never seen before. His jaw was clenched so tightly it looked like it might crack. "Touch him again," Julian growled, "and you'll lose more than that filthy hand of yours." Ethan wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and laughed, clearly trying to provoke him. "You're jealous," he said smugly. "But you should be. Emery can never forget me. I'm the reason he became a monk. I'm part of his life in a way you'll never be." "Shut up." Emery snapped, his voice shaking. "Just shut up, Ethan." Julian didn't respond. Instead, he grabbed Emery's hand and dragged him away, ignoring Ethan's calls behind them. "Emery. You know I'm right. You can't erase me." Julian didn't even look back. He pulled Emery to the car, opened the door, and said coldly, "Get in." Emery obeyed without protest. The ride was tense, thick with unspoken words. Emery tried once or twice to say something, anything, to ease the heaviness between them. "Julian, about what just happened." "Please," Julian cut in, his voice flat. "Not right now." So Emery fell silent. When the car finally stopped, Emery looked up in surprise. They were in a beautiful open space, a quiet clearing surrounded by greenery, soft sunlight filtering through the trees. A picnic had already been prepared, complete with a blanket, neatly arranged food, and candles tucked into glass holders. Emery's breath caught. Oh my goodness. The earlier chaos faded, just a little as they got out of the car. "This is really nice," he said honestly. "You did all this?" Julian nodded, some of the tension leaving his shoulders. They sat down together, the silence this time gentler. "It's beautiful," Emery added softly. He hesitated, then said, "About Ethan." Julian lifted a hand. "I don't want to talk about it," he said calmly. "Not today. I don't want him ruining this." He exhaled and looked at Emery. "I know you once loved him. That's normal. Just like I had once been infatuated with Hale. We all have pasts." His gaze softened. "What matters is what we choose now." Emery listened, his heart pounding. "I really like you, Emery," Julian continued quietly. "Truly. And I want us to move forward. Together." Then Julian reached into his pocket and brought out the small box. Emery's eyes widened. "I'm going on a business trip," Julian said. "It'll last at least 2 months. That's a long time to be apart." He opened the box, revealing the simple emerald ring. "I want you to have this. Something that reminds you of me." He smiled faintly. "And maybe, something to scare away all those admirers. Especially Ethan. I want the world to know you're taken." He held the ring out. "Will you accept it?" Emery's cheeks burned as he stared at the ring. His fingers twitched, but then stopped. He swallowed. "I admit that I have feelings for you, Julian. I can't deny it." He looked up, conflicted. "But I don't trust you yet." "Not completely." Julian's expression tightened. "If I take that ring," Emery continued softly, "it means I'm accepting everything about you. And I can't do that when I feel like you're still hiding something from me." His voice wavered. "Please, tell me the truth. What are you hiding?" Julian sighed, the weight of everything pressing down on him. "I see," he said quietly. "Then it's unfortunate you can't accept it." He moved to take the box back, but Emery quickly stopped him. "Wait," Emery said. "You don't have to take it back. I might change my mind." He took the box, still closed, holding it carefully. "Just not yet." Julian felt a rush of mixed emotions, relief, disappointment, longing. He had imagined slipping the ring onto Emery's finger, claiming him without doubt. But the truth he was hiding, his real identity, his past as Julian St. Clair, stood firmly between them. As long as that secret remained, there would always be distance. And deep down, Julian knew one thing for certain. Someday, he would have to tell Emery everything. Ethan found Hale exactly at the cafe pacing restlessly, impatience written all over his face. "It didn't work," Ethan said the moment he stepped in. Hale stopped pacing and turned sharply. "What do you mean it didn't work?" "I mean exactly that," Ethan replied, irritated and humiliated. "Emery shut me down completely. He was hostile. Cold. And Julian," he scoffed, "well, he gave me this as a way of telling me to back off." He pointed to the tiny cut on his lips. Hale's expression darkened. "So you failed." Ethan clenched his jaw. "It wasn't that simple." Hale laughed bitterly. "You're useless," he snapped. "I told you what I wanted, and you couldn't even manage that." He stepped closer, his voice low and cruel. "If you don't win Emery over, you don't get me. That was the deal." Ethan stared at him, stunned. "Hale." But Hale had already turned away, anger radiating from him as he stormed out. What he didn't notice was the figure across the street, half hidden behind a tree. A camera lens followed his movements, clicking softly as several pictures were taken, clear, deliberate, damning. Not long after, Hale arrived at Julian's mansion, his mood already sour. Before he could even reach the front door, Nikki stepped out, blocking his path. "Hale," Nikki said coolly. "What do you want?" Hale raised an eyebrow. "Is that how you greet guests now? I'm here to see my brother. Or is that suddenly a crime?" Nikki didn't budge. "You're not welcome here to stir trouble." Hale scoffed. Trouble? I just want to see Emery. He's my brother. I'm allowed that much, aren't I? He walked closer and Nikki crossed his arms. Your brother is out with Julian. They're on a date. The words hit exactly where Nikki intended. Hale's jaw tightened. A date? He repeated, anger flashing across his face. Yes, Nikki said firmly. And I'd advise you to stay away. If you're thinking of interfering or trying to separate them, don't. I won't give you the chance. For a moment, Hale just stared at him. Then, slowly, a smile spread across his lips, sharp, dangerous. He stepped closer, invading Nikki's space. You really hate me, Hale said softly, almost amused. I was wondering why. Nikki stiffened but didn't step back. But now I know. I thought I'd forgotten, Hale continued, his voice smooth and cutting. But I remember now. I remember how you used to look like a little beggar running after Julian St. Clair. How you and your family were always, beneath us. Nikki's eyes darkened. I never understood why Richard St. Clair kept associating with people like you, Hale went on, smirking. And just so you know, he leaned in slightly, I still feel the same way. You're nothing but a servant, a pauper. My opinion of you hasn't changed. And it never will. He straightened, clearly satisfied when he saw the hurt flicker across Nikki's face. With that, Hale turned and walked away, leaving Nikki standing there, angry, and wounded. That night, Emory lay awake with the small velvet box resting on his chest. He opened it again, even though he already knew what was inside. The emerald caught the soft light of the lamp, glowing quietly, almost patiently. His chest tightened. He wanted to accept it. God, he wanted to. Just the thought of wearing it, of letting the world know he belonged to Julian, sent butterflies fluttering wildly in his stomach. But the doubt refused to leave him alone. There were still too many unanswered questions, too many locked doors Julian hadn't opened yet. And that scared him. A few days later, the world seemed to change overnight. A contagious disease began spreading across the state, fast and unforgiving. The government urged people to stay indoors while medical teams raced against time to contain it and develop a vaccine. Streets emptied, businesses shut down, and fear settled into every household like a heavy fog. Julian's business trip was postponed immediately. But Emery's decision was just as immediate. I have to go, he said, already walking towards the door wearing his coat. Julian stared at him in disbelief. Absolutely not. This is exactly why I became a doctor, Emery replied firmly. To help people and people need help. Nikki tried reasoning with him. Emery, you can help later. This thing is dangerous. Victoria wrung her hands anxiously. Please, dear, think about yourself. Even James, usually silent, spoke up. Your safety should come first. But Emery shook his head. If everyone stays home out of fear, who treats the sick? Julian stepped closer, his voice low and strained. I'm worried about you, he said quietly. What if something happens to you? Emery softened, cupping Julian's cheek briefly. I will try to be as safe as possible, he said. Don't worry. And with that, he left. A week passed. Each day felt heavier than the last. Then one night, the front door opened quietly. Julian looked up instantly and froze. Emery stood there, pale and unsteady, his shoulders slumped, his breathing shallow. He looked exhausted, no, worse than that. Emery. Julian was already on his feet. What's wrong? Emery took one step forward, then another, his vision clearly swimming. I think, he whispered, his voice breaking, I think I caught it. Fear rippled through the room. Victoria stepped back instinctively. Nikki froze. Even James hesitated. But Julian didn't. He crossed the distance in seconds, catching Emery just as his knees gave out. Emory collapsed into his arms, weak and burning with fever. "Julian," Emory murmured. "I've got you," Julian said fiercely, holding him close despite the risk. "I'm here. I'm not letting go." Emory lifted his gaze slowly, meeting Julian's eyes. It was in that moment, despite the fear, the sickness, the uncertainty, he saw it clearly. The love. Raw. Unfiltered. Terrifyingly real. His lips curved into the faintest smile before his eyes fluttered shut. Thanks for watching, everyone. Do like and subscribe to the channel for more episodes. It will be a big encouragement. Have a great day.